So people do extensive research on the vehicle they're going to purchase, on the home they're going to purchase, on the on the investments they're going to make, right? When it comes to that, and even then they fuck up, right? They'll do research on the college they're going to send their kids to, or the student might do extensive research on what college or what field they want to get into, but they fail to do the proper research and properly educate themselves on the current financial monetary system we're living under right now. Basic economics, they'll do all of this, buy a depreciating asset and not understand how that never really I never really understood that, and when I was in high school, fresh out of high school, the '08 crash had just happened, right? And I didn't comprehend how people just, people's wealth just got wiped out in the stock market, right? And how people were going crazy. I couldn't understand that, and most people can't understand it to this day. And you have to understand what you guys fail to realize is that it's purposely made for the vast majority of people not to understand basic economics. And I bring up inflation and saving money and just understanding all this because you motherfuckers got your priorities straight. You guys would rather fucking, oh shit, car accident. Bear with me, I get a little bit nervous, get camera nervous, and I gotta pay attention to the road. Somebody fucked up here. Anyways, and yeah, people don't have their priorities straight, and now, the same misunderstanding of economics, it's 2026. We're one day away. It's August 14th today as I record this video. 55 years ago, the United States was, Richard Nixon removed the U.S. from the gold standard. And nobody knows this shit. I was talking to a boomer at the gym, and I just happened to ask him, like, hey, what's up, man? What was it like living under the gold standard? Like, what was that like? Oh, just like any other day. Dude, these people were around the gold standard when money was actually, when the currency was backed by an asset, which is gold, and they still don't fucking know. Anyways, back to the shit though, right? Make it your priority to understand this shit, because I hear people complain on the internet, oh, we don't they never teach this shit in school. They every single fucking recession, or if somebody has a bad finances, they fall behind on their car note, their fucking mortgage, whatever the fuck the case may be, they always resort to having the people who create the money, right? They don't teach us this shit. You guys really think that the people who are in charge, who create the money, which is, you have the U.S., well, all countries use fiat currencies, right? So you have the government with the central banks. You really think they're gonna fucking tell us how this shit works? If everybody knew how the system works, the whole system would collapse. It's all an illusion based on debt and fake money. And the rest of the world knows this already. How do I know this? Because the price of gold, and I'll bring up gold. The price of gold has gone up drastically. I think it was like at $42 an ounce when we were at the when we first got off the gold standard, August 15th, 1971, 55 years ago from tomorrow. And, people do the right thing. They'll park their money in a 401k, a Roth. This isn't financial advice. Don't take financial advice from me. I'm just a dude on a camera, right? That just happens to do his research I I'm making my business because the fuck if I'm gonna get rug pulled while everybody else is well well you guys are gonna get stuck holding the bag. Anyways, that's I'm making my business because like I said, when I was in high school, I couldn't comprehend like how does money evaporate, right? Or how do people lose assets or all that good stuff? And obviously, I'm oversimplifying just because it's a quick video, but understand the difference between fiat currencies and real money. I'll give you guys a quick synopsis on what that is. Fiat currency is pretty much when a central bank and a and a government create money, which is what we have now, the U.S. dollar. They create out of thin air. It's not backed by an asset. Money is when they create a currency backed by an asset, like what we had before. And prior to the gold standard, we were also on a gold and silver standard. So you guys have an understanding. The what gold and silver provided was checks and balances, so governments can't overspend because eventually, what happens when they overspend and their currency isn't or their money isn't backed by anything, or their currency, excuse me, that creates inflation because they're inflating the money supply. People, they're expanding the money supply, excuse me, and people assume it's the companies, they're greedy, they're bringing the price of it up on everything. It's actually the other way around. So the more money they create, the more stimulus checks they send around the world or sent to you guys, the more wealth for them. The shit's just gonna keep going up. I don't know how people just don't understand this simple concept. Obviously, I'm oversimplifying, like I said earlier, but go do your research. Go look up Peter Schiff. That's Schiff. He's really good when it comes to economics. He was I think he is still a stockbroker. He owned his matter of fact he had his own bank, and they fucking took his fucking bank just because he was spreading the gospel of being a sovereign individual and proper finance. Anyways, that's I mean, what can I tell you guys? This isn't something that I don't understand how this doesn't piss people off, where they have you literally working for fake money. They have you working for fake money on this endless fucking loop. And what do? That's another reason why even like the property values are inflated, where it's for the same reason, for the money printing. And now they don't even have to print it. All they got to do is just by a click of a button and some programming, whoop, they create money out of nowhere. That shit can only go on for so long. Anyways, how do I protect myself? I protect myself with precious metals, gold and silver. Shit's been money for forever. I assume it'll always be money. Some people like to use different investment vehicles, which I'm not against. But gold and silver has been money since the beginning of time. That's all I gotta say. And the moment you guys realize that, and the moment you guys understand that, they can't just create, 1,000 tons of gold out of nowhere, or they can't just start mining this shit. Oh, they just start mining a whole bunch of gold or silver because we don't have enough. That's not how it works. Educate and protect yourselves on the difference between fiat currencies and money and inflation. And now that you know who's the party to blame. Blame yourself, because you're the one who's not educated on this, because they're gonna keep doing this. These are cycles. They know this. They've done this before, where countries have inflated so much debt, so much money, so much currency. They've printed so much money, where they'll do like a currency reset, which happened in Mexico where my father was, he was around that shit, and he has some crazy ass stories about that, where literally millionaires from one day to another went broke. But that's a video for a separate story, a different video. Anyways, I gotta go get some fresh water, and I'm gone. Peace.